Good morning. Welcome to Living in Two Worlds. Today is November 5th in Thailand, and we're going to embark on the next phase of our property here in Thailand. We're going to start landscaping. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a look around before the company shows up and kind of talk about what we're going to do. So as I mentioned, it's time to embark on the next part of our journey here with our property. And what we're looking at doing is landscaping our front yard here. Right now we have numerous flower beds that, pardon the wind noise, I'm sorry, it's windy today. Numerous flower beds that Noon's been working on. Planted some flowers, we planted some trees. But the remainder of the property is weeds, and it's very rough ground. So we've got a company coming who's going to pull out all of the weeds, rip it, dig it all out, and smooth, level, bring in sand, and then sod. We haven't decided if we're going to do sprinklers with that yet or not. So this section here will be done, along with this side here. As you can see, it's quite rough, patchy, many different kinds of weeds, stuff like that. It's not that I want a manicured golf green type of lawn, but I do want something that's a little nicer and easier to manage than this. This area here will remain as a flower bed. Noon's been cleaning it up the last few days, getting it somewhat ready. This area here will remain with some sort of flowers, or we're possibly looking at this area here, maybe using some patio stones and stuff, and laying down more patio stones, and maybe add a seating area or two in here, and keep this with more just to plant pots and maybe another little statue or something. And then we want to clean this up back here, keep the trees, but probably get rid of the rest and either throw some sort of wood chips down or stone or something like that. So we're working on that kind of stuff. So it is somewhat of a work in progress. So we're waiting for the company to show up. Once they show up, we will they want to start with the grass first. We also need some concrete work done. This fence here, I want the rendering done on this fence, and I want that concrete mixed and done before we start laying grass down, because I don't want people mixing concrete on new grass. So that's part of it, as well as down this side of the fence here we have a drain system where show you here, where we have a concrete along the edge which carries the water away from the property. We do not have that across the front or down this side. That is something that we are looking at adding as well. So quite a bit of work to be done. So we'll wait till they show up, and then we will see what the first plan's going to be, and then update you from there. Pardon the farm trucks going by, they're a little noisy, but once they're here and we have some discussions with them, then we will update you some more. Today is November 12th. This is an update on our yard and our landscaping. If you look at it, you will see it looks exactly the same as it did on November 5th. What went wrong? Well, actually it probably looks even worse now because the weeds are even longer. But if you remember from earlier in the video, I had mentioned that we were anxiously awaiting on the morning of November 5th for our landscaper to show up and start work. Well, they didn't show up. And that was, so we ended up telling him not to bother coming. So let me explain that to you a little more. Okay, so let me explain to you what happened with the landscaping. We had phoned a company which had been recommended to us, and they came by, I think it was about the 31st of October, November 1st, and we agreed on a price for them to sod, to level, smooth, and sod the front yard. And they were going to start on November 4th. Well, November 4th came, and they didn't. So, finally placed a phone call and said, where are you? I thought you were coming on the 4th. And the lady who answered said, oh, I'm sorry, the job we were working on is taking a little bit longer than anticipated. We'll be there tomorrow. Okay, I understand that happened. So I was okay with that. November 5th came along, still no crew. Finally, by about 11 in the morning, we phoned, where are you? Oh, well, the job's taking longer. We thought we'll be there on the 11th. No, I don't think so. So my first instinct was, I've been lied to, and I don't like that. So we've told them, don't bother to come. And I understand that jobs take longer than you anticipate, and sometimes you've got to, you plan to finish it on one day, it takes a day or two longer, but it doesn't take a week longer. If it does, then you made a promise you knew you couldn't keep. And that's my feeling, that when they told us they would be here on the 4th, they knew at that time that they couldn't possibly be here on the 4th. We went through this with the lady who did the curtains in our house, and it was just one excuse, one delay after another, till we finally told her to get lost. So rather than go down that road again, we decided, no, don't bother coming. So now we have a new company, and we went to the local nursery. Like to go to a place called Farside, and there was a shop there that sells sod and stuff. So we had a good conversation with them, and the fellow came by and took a look at the place, and one, gave us a better price to do the sod work, and understood my concern I had, because we have some concrete work that needs to be done as well. So I was mentioning that we have some concrete work to be done. The main part is I need this fence here to be rendered so that it has the same kind of finish as the front fence. The first crew was here, and I said, I think you need to do the rendering first. Their thought was, no, we'll do the sod and then do the rendering after. I was not happy with that decision, and thought, well, we'll sort it out. But since they're no longer coming, the second guy we've hired was in complete agreement with me that we need to get the concrete work done first so that we don't damage the new lawn once it's laid. Made sense. We're also going to, and I think I mentioned earlier that we have a gutter or channel down the side of this fence all the way down, and we are going to get them to pour the same thing down that side and across the front here to deal with the water as it comes off the lawn. So that concrete work will be done first. Today is Tuesday. We're out of town Wednesday. They're supposed to be here Thursday and order materials, and we'll get materials delivered, and they will start on Friday. They will also be rendering this fence on this side as well too. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that Thursday things actually start to happen. I have a much better feeling with this crew than I did with the first one, so we'll see how that goes, and we'll keep you updated. So my crew is here today. They said they would show up, and they did, and they are working on the fence. We'll take a closer look in a moment. They're doing the rendering on the fence, but We did get some more cement sent over today, as well as some rock and some brick, which I think the brick will be used to sort of build the perimeter drainage system. So I'm thrilled that after my first little episode with the first crew of saying they're coming and not coming, these ones have held true to their words. And just to give you an idea of what they're doing a rendering on the brick, which, so when it's all done, we'll have this kind of look here when it's all painted. And as you can see, they've finished the first couple panels here. Still have the post to do, but looking very smooth, very nice. And as you can see, it is a far cry from what it looked like before. Take a walk over here. You can see they Okay. D Mark. Yeah. So this is what the fence looked like originally. And now, oh yeah, look good. And then put a coating of concrete on it, or cement. Let it dry a little and then smooth it out. Oh yeah. So we'll leave them at it and check again later. Today is November 23rd. So the guys have been here working on the fence and stuff for just over a week. So this is what the fence looks like when they start. We're not going to do any more back here, but we look this way, you can see where they've been working. They start by rendering the brick or the panel itself, and then they come back, put the strings up, and build up the edges to get a nice straight edge, and they're very good. Before we had guys use sort of plastic corners to get a nice straight edge. These guys do it without the corners. He said they do it this way all the time, and based on what I can see, I don't really have any issue with it. It's not quite the way I would have done it, but there's a lot of things done here that aren't the way I would do them. And the reasons why I don't do a lot of work here, because it's a different world, it's different work, different way of doing things than I'm used to. And the other reason being is the cost of the labor here doesn't make it really worth your time to try to do some of the work yourself. And as well as it is employment for local people, so that's part of it too. But here, we'll take a look over here, and you can see where they have completed these panels, and they have completed the posts. It's all looking pretty darn good, I think. I'm quite pleased with that. So now, once this all dries up enough, there's a little bit there, we got to cut a bit of rebar off the top, but once this all dries up enough, then I will paint this fence the same as the front. Paint the panels in gray and the trim in white, and then she should look good. The other thing we've done here is they're building a little platform here, and this is something that is normal in Thailand in respect. It's according to what Noon tells me, this is, you have to put something here and you have to put some little ornaments here, whatever, and this is has to be near the entrance to your property, and this is to keep the ghosts from entering into your property. So this was important, had to get done. The other thing they've been doing is they will be digging a channel or building a channel around, or a gutter around the outside of, or the inside of the wall, exterior wall around the property. We come over the side, we can see where they've started on that here. They use a row of brick, and then they will cover it with concrete. And you can see where they've done this side here. And if we go back up around over here, I can show you where they have done down this side. Easier view from up here. Also, we have done the full fence from where it starts from the half fence. That hadn't been done. They've done the panels there, but not the posts and beams. And that is going to get done through into the back as well, so that the whole front yard will have a finished look. So if I take a look here, you can see how this looks. They've done this here, so looking pretty good. So once that gets done, then we can even it off with the dirt. Once these things are done, then the landscapers will come in and start on the leveling the yard and getting it ready for sod. They've still got more work to do on this part of the fence. This side, this one here, is being done inside and out. And we were going to originally stop at the back gate here, but now we've decided to take it through to the back corner, back underneath that tree. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain it to you a little further on. But for now, they're just started on the outside behind the gate here. This one here, they've done the inside and the outside. They need to work on the beams and posts back there. Finish the gutters or the drainage ditches around the inside of the wall. Then that should be it for the concrete guys. But I think as soon as they finish the front part here, the landscapers, they're itching to get going. So yeah, this being Saturday, I'd say another week, or maybe not quite, and then hopefully the landscapers can come and start on their part of the job. So that's how she stands right now. So it's looking good. We're getting there, but still more work to be done. So we've started the landscape portion of our work in the front yard. This side here hasn't been touched yet. The concrete work's all been done around there. And the landscape guys were here yesterday and started on this side. They pulled all of the weeds, had all of the weeds pulled out. The ground was not smooth enough to Noon's liking, so we brought in a family member with a tractor, and he's been smoothing it out, which I felt we had to do anyway. So then the landscape guy will be back again this morning, today, and we'll have them tidy it completely. And then I believe we need a little bit of topsoil and sand, and then we're ready for sod. So let him finish up, and then we'll check with it again later. So there's a lot happening around here, and as you can see, a lot happened already. Today is Thursday. Damn, I have trouble remembering what day of the month it is. It is Thursday the 6th of December. So I showed you before the work that was being done on the fence, and I think last time I talked to you they had pulled all the weeds on this side. We brought in a tractor and smoothed it, and they brought in sand, a thin layer of sand to cover the whole thing, and been leveling that out. We're going to do a walkway here through to the small walk-in gate. Cleaned everything up, moved a tree or two. We added 2 more foxtails on this side, and we moved one of them on that side, so it all looks good now. On this side here was quite a bit tougher. More weeds. The weeds were really tough over here. They pulled all of those. But in order to get this sloped right, we had to bring in a tractor and dig it up and get it to the right setup. So now they're just finishing up with the sand. Just a little short on it, so moving it around, it should be fine. And as you can see, our sod has arrived. So with this arriving, it's got to go down today. You can't leave it sit here. As I learned in Canada, it'll start to ferment in a hell of a hurry. So get that done, and then when they get at the sod, I think we'll set up the camera and see how they make out. But it's coming together nicely. We'll check in later. Well, what do you think? I think she's looking pretty fine. The north side of the driveway is now done. All the sod is down. So far, still green. Been down 2 hours, still green, so hopefully we can keep it that way. Before we had the two foxtail tree 3, we added a 4th and a 5th here. They put the bricks around the bottom, which is nice. Help for cutting the grass. Everything's tidy right up to the concrete on the edge. Very happy about that. So when you come down here, she's all looking pretty sharp. Bit of cleaning to do once it's all done. But when I look at it, there's no real dips or holes. It's fairly level. I think it's pretty pleased with that. And then if we look at the south side of the driveway, and as I expected, didn't bring enough sod, so the boss has gone back to get more sod. So we've added a walkway from here to the walk-in gate there, and it's something that we talked about for a while. I might look at putting a automatic opener on the big gate, and then we would use the small gate a lot more. So this side here is starting to look pretty nice. We added 2 more foxtails onto this side. We had a couple of Noon's other trees that were already in there. This one's a mango. I'm not sure the others, and her bushes here. So just wait till the boss comes back with the rest of the sod, and then we'll set the camera up and let him finish it. Pretty pleased. It's looking pretty darn sharp. Good morning, everyone. It is December 25th, Christmas morning. My wife has decided we should be a little bit festive, so she's taken a few decorations and decorated a couple of her trees and plants outside. Looks quite nice. Oh, even the reindeer got a couple on the antlers. I thought I'd take a moment this morning to show you what our sod looks like on our yard. As you can see, it's all done. Oh, here's another nice little tree here, all decorated nice. Isn't that cute? So, they finished the sod up, it's 2 weeks ago now. Shortly after it was done, we went on a holiday. We had somebody looking after it, watering it for us. Little concerned at first because the sod here is very thin, not quite like the sod I was used to getting in Canada. So it was drying out very, very fast. We've been pumping the water to it like crazy. It seems to be hanging in there. It's a good time of year to be doing sod, obviously, in Thailand because of the temperatures. This morning, I think it's probably in the low 20s, a bit breezy. So it's not burning the grass, but yet it is definitely drying out. So we've been putting a lot of water to it. We've got a few spots here, like you can see, where it's a little dry on this corner, but it's coming. So, just to give you a look here now, and you look from here, it's beginning to look like we have a completed front yard. So, that was a big part of my plan for this year, to get that done. I'm happy about that. I get a bit more to do, and if you can look further back by the parking there, you can see the fence isn't painted there yet, and I haven't painted this fence here yet either. So I'll be working on that over the next little while, so we'll do that. But I'm going to end this video here. We've got another project we're starting, another building project here in Thailand. So I'll be starting another series coming up shortly, so make sure you pay attention and see what we're up to next. So with that, we'll leave it there. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video.